Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening. Welcome to another edition of this NIGEL Warner show. Today we have in front of me Mr. NIGEL Emmanuel Wigley. Nigel, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, aka the 16MP.
Wow. Nigel, a few days ago you were arrested on the French side. Tell us a little bit about what happened there.
Well, they basically framed me, to make a long story short. They called me February 12th and said they want me to come in for questioning for Facebook posts and videos and comments and stuff like that. But really, they just wanted me to come in to arrest me, and to set me up. So basically they said that I caused a big fire, like I started a big fire on Happy Bay Hill that burnt about 2,000 square meters of vegetation. And obviously I didn't do that because I have witnesses that said that I was at the hospital, including my cousin who just delivered a baby. So I went that day to pick her up, and the rest of the day I was just helping her out because she had a C-section, so clearly I wasn't there. And that's what happened. I got released about 2 days after.
Okay, so while you were incarcerated, there was a post on social media that says they take you to a psychologist to be evaluated because you were crazy or you was going crazy. What would be your answer to that?
That's propaganda. That's all it is. Propaganda from the opposition, propaganda from political parties, propaganda from haters. They always waiting for opportunity to try and bring my downfall politically, to mess up my political career. So basically, when I got arrested, they always read you your rights, and one of your rights is to see a doctor. So I chose to go to the hospital in Concordia so they could evaluate me, make sure I don't have no injuries, just in case the police beat me up during interrogation to intimidate me. So when I file my court case, which I will file and do my lawsuit against the gendarmerie, the collectivité, the préfet, and basically the whole government of St. Martin on an international court level, I would have proper documentation from the hospital saying, okay, they beat me up just in case they did. So that was the whole crazy talk. It's your right to see a doctor, so I don't really know what they on, but all I could say is, the haters gonna hate.
And you said you was arrested for some 2 days?
Yes.
What was that feeling like being incarcerated?
Well, I've been incarcerated already for 3 months during the pandemic, so it is nothing really new to me. I'm not a criminal though. Like, I don't have no record nowhere in the world, and I lived all over the world, right? I don't have no record on the south side of St. Martin, which they call the Dutch side. I don't have no record on the French side of St. Martin, which they call the north side. So for me, it was just relaxing. I got to sleep. I was in the hole for a total of 24 hours, 12 hours a day. I ain't had no books, and the way it is, it's a dark room with a hole in the ground to piss in and to do the number 2, and a little window probably like this big, so you don't know if the sun is rising or if basically when the sun set. They ain't got no clock in there, so you don't even know what time it is. They leave you go in there without shoes, so it's meant to break you down and drive you crazy. But right after that, during the interrogation by the chief of the gendarmerie, I basically just said, they asked me, how does it feel? I said, well, I was relaxing. I got time to sleep. I got time to meditate. No phone. That's the best rest I got since the campaign, because it was a long election.
All right. As you speak about the election, let's go into the just concluded election that takes place in St. Martin. You run as a one-man party. That was the ECE party, the one-man party. And you managed to grab some 292 votes to be exact. That's what we have written on paper. You claim 300 because of
Invalid votes.
invalid votes, but we're going to stick to the 292.
Mhm.
You have managed to get more votes than current ministers. You have managed to get more votes than party leaders. How does that make you feel as an individual running for the very first time?
It's a good feeling. Why? Because it gives me confidence in the population of St. Martin and in the voters and even the supporters who couldn't vote, right? It shows me that they really want change. It shows me that they supporting the movement, and it shows me that they want a political revolution and transparency, because my party slogan was RULE, which stands for Righteousness, Unity, and Love Empowerment. And one of the things I stood for is when the righteous is in power, the people will rejoice. But when the wicked is ruling, the people gonna mourn, they gonna cry, they gonna complain and all that. So with that high count of vote, according to the St. Martin standards, it shows me that, you know, all the work I was doing for the past 3 years to bring the people out of suppression on both sides of the island, and the work I'm doing to lead us into sovereignty is appreciated, and they want me to continue. That's what I showed me.
So with your 292 votes, that make you the 14th highest vote getter in St. Martin. How does that make you feel, being the number 14? There are 15 members of parliament, but according to the calculation, you would have had to get a certain amount of votes to earn a seat.
Right.
But if we take away the seat of it and we go into the direct votes, you were the number 14th highest vote getter. How does that make you feel as a person?
Well, it should make the population feel good, because I am the voice for the people. With that amount of support and being the 14 highest vote getter, basically the 14th parliamentarian, it shows me that now I could be a voice of action, meaning that this government has to take everything I say into consideration and really address it in parliament, in government, or whatever they want to do. They have to take this manifesto into consideration when they're forming the government, as you know, setting up committees and all of that, because the people voted me in to be a representative for them. So whether I had enough for the electoral quota or not, the point is the people have spoken, and the people should be respected. So that's all I really see. And Empire Culture Empowerment as a party should be very respected as well, because we coming, you know, we coming.
During the debate, there was some highlight that you have won the popular of the debate. When they touch on cases like Gibby, NVGEBE, you was one of the most popular person when those questions arrived. What message you have for the people today when it's come to the whole Gibby saga still?
Well, my message is, if you watch that debate, I said I was the first one and one of the only politician, matter of fact, not one, the only politician that was out there fighting for the people passionately and emotionally, whether it was protests, whether it was filing documents, whether it was sending emails. I had a petition going with over 400 petitioners. I was the only one doing that. But when the campaigners, the other political parties and candidates seen that this movement is actually making me popular and a threat to them during the election, they took that and made that one of the main objectives in their manifestos and political campaign. And now after the campaign, nothing still ain't solved. So during the debate, I said, during the elections, the people they're gonna talk and do all of that, basically take whatever I'm saying, because I'm probably one of the most popular candidates during the election. But after the election, they're gonna turn their backs. And that's why I don't see them pushing to solve the problem with GB like they was pushing during the election for people to put their trust in them concerning GB. I just don't see that. And hopefully I could be very active in getting a solution for GB. But as you could see, they had a GB meeting last week, Thursday. The gendarmerie locked me up and I couldn't attend that GB meeting. So I still trying to figure out if any politicians on the I don't even want to say politicians on the Dutch side, but if it was a political stunt as well concerning GB. But you know, my ECE legal team gonna find that out, because everybody's under investigation at this moment, because it looked like they're locking up politicians. That's what it looked like. Or framing politicians.
So what's your next step as a politician? What does your political career looks like?
Well, my next step is going down the checklist of my manifesto. And that checklist, I call it the top 20. You know, it includes education, health, agriculture, our living environment, ENIA. You know, ENIA is still a big problem. You know, I know you know about ENIA is concerning the pension and whatnot. Basically, the pension money was stolen, and we're gonna find that, right? Employment, raising minimum wage and pension and whatnot, price control, taxes. I don't think that us locals should be paying such high taxes. Leave that for the people that's coming in. You know, in most countries and in righteous countries, the locals don't pay high taxes like that. We live in here, you know. So I need to fix that up. Traffic, road, the relief programs and all of that, you know, and the oath amendment. So I'm going to be going through that.
Okay, what is one of your main concern today into the political arena? One of your main concern when it comes to politics?
We need to work our way towards sovereignty. A lot of politicians was using that slogan about decolonization, you know, not pledging allegiance to the king but to the people, but nobody has taken a serious step towards that. I'm the only one that's actually doing that. That's why I'm being threatened and harassed by colonial powers. So that's my next step, educating the people that we can be self-determined and self-efficient moving forward, and it's just not a dream. A lot of Caribbean islands is independent. Why can't we?
If you should have a part in this upcoming government, what portfolio you would like to champion?
Justice.
And why?
Because especially since I've been arrested, I know that I need to be a part of that justice system, so that no illegal arrests are being made, no government intimidations are being done on both sides. And basically, if people from the ECE movement on the French side is having problems, they could easily come to the Dutch side for asylum, you know, because it's a big problem that's going on right now. They're trying to silence the real speakers of change. So I need to be in that justice ministry in order to make sure that the people who want real change are good and safe. Everything else I could do from the sidelines, from outside. I got my team working. Everything else we could do, but I need to be in that justice ministry.
All right. What do you think about the current coalition that is getting themselves together?
I don't have much to say about that, right? But basically, I do want good for my people. I do want our best interests to be top priority. So whether it works out or not, I'm gonna be involved in this current government. Whether it falls or not, whether it's not strong or not, I'm gonna be involved for the betterment of our nation. That's all I gotta say, because I know that a lot of these different parties got different
Different
agendas and
ideologies.
different ideologies. So whether it works out or not, I'm always there to pick up whatever's left over, basically.
Let me ask the final question of the night. Will Mr. Emmanuel Wigley continues to be the voice of the people? Because currently most folks is looking, where is the one-man party? Is he just gone silent? Or are we going to hear something from him?
Well, I'll be honest, I've been very active, you know. I just haven't really been active with a mic, but I've been very active, whether it's behind the scenes on social media, in certain neighborhoods, in parliament. Every time they have a meeting, I'm there in parliament.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, every time they have a meeting, even if they don't have a meeting, I'm around. I'm talking to the people. I'm learning more about the political system, because as you know, I'm really new to this whole political arena. But I'm a leader in almost every aspect of my life, so I'm pretty sure I could be a good leader for the four-party coalition and this new government. So I'm making sure I'm very active. But you will see me in a district near you. I got a lot of stuff going on, including giving back to the community. I get donations from sponsors and whatnot, and people that supporting the movement, and I'm ready to give back to the community and have an open ear to the concerns of the people in all districts concerning their living environment.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was it. A conversation with Nigel Emmanuel Wigley, leader of the ECE party. Today's episode was brought to us, the kind courtesy of Sexy Beef, where you can get all of your local food. Also, this episode is brought to you by St. Martin Presidential Tour, the best tour operators in St. Martin. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to the Mr. Warner Show. Until next time when we meet again,